You can go back to, say, the Victorian era, and men used to treat women with an extreme amount of deference because the generations living then remembered a time when the world was a lot more difficult than people now remember it being. So the physical inequality between men and women was emphasized because the world was a much more difficult place. Men took a paternalistic and patriarchal view on how women should be treated, and women wanted men to take that. They wanted to be safe, they wanted to be provided for, they wanted to make sure their children were safe, and men did what they could. Now, men have won. They've, the fact we've got aeroplanes flying overhead and the fact that we're not about to be invaded is the victory of Western man. Then for some reason women decided, okay, well I'm not afraid anymore. I want what you have. You don't do the things that we do, so you can't have what we have. But men just want women to be happy. They want them to love them. They want their approval. And so if gaining women's approval means pretending women are equal to men or, saying this, that, and the other, whatever it is, they'll do it. And it's completely taken men off of the throne that they sat on. This throne was never imposed by authority, actually. It was imposed by consent. And the second women withdrew their consent for the man to be on that throne, the throne collapses and the men are just standing around and going, okay, well, I guess I'll just play video games and drink beer all day and smoke weed. And if you don't need me, I won't do anything. Because that's really the whole raison d'etre of being a man, just to be needed by someone else. And it's always been women.
I do believe that I'm a 10 wholeheartedly, because why would I downgrade myself? And all of you ladies should think that you're a 10.
Do you think all women should view themselves as a 10?
I do. I do think all women should have that confidence.
Do you agree with her, other 10?
Yes, if they actually work on themselves.
So all women are 10s?
I think so. Because we're all
Are all
amazing.
men 10s?
I think in their own way, all men can be 10s, yeah.
How come you're willing to give women the like, yes, girls slay, you're all 10s, the confidence, but for men, you're like, maybe they can reach 10 level.
Because I love women and I want to support women.
So men don't need support?
Men do need support. I never said that.
But she does point something out where you were quicker to say, yes, all women are 10s, but there seemed to be hesitation when we were trying to do the same appraisal of men.
Just because I don't find every man attractive, right?
You find all women attractive?
I find a lot of women, most women attractive, yeah.
This is why you have to dog women out when you first start talking to them. When you give a woman everything, she'll leave you with nothing. My brother, welcome back to the streets. And it's a ruthless, ruthless environment. I'm gonna tell you that right now. These women, you don't bring flowers on the first date. It's a waste of time. When you're a true gentleman to a woman, she's gonna sabotage it. You're literally too good for her. So although you might be frustrated, she did you a huge favor. She knew that she was gonna waste your time. And that's just the reality of a lot of high value men in this dating market. These women aren't worth your time, your resources, or your loving gestures. So stop even trying to give it to them. Everything you see online when women say, oh, I want to be treated right, this is what happens when you treat them right. This is what happens. So many good men literally turn evil because of situations like this. And girls wonder, oh, why don't men respect women? Oh, why do guys act like dogs? Because the moment you do the right thing by a woman, I'm telling you, you're going to sit there and regret it. You're going to wish you was the worst version of yourself. This literally brings out the worst version of so many men. But you just have to realize and learn these women are not worth the effort. They're not like our mothers and grandmothers. All these loving things that we grew up seeing in TV and movies, it doesn't work with these type of women. They're toxic, brother. They say they want all these loving things and they go back and they do this. And then yet the same type of woman will still post on her social media store, oh, I want a man to treat me like this, treat me like that. The moment you treat them well, it ends poorly. Every single time. So my brother, just get back out here, do your thing. Don't worry about these women, bro. I'm telling you, put them through the ringer, every single one. Let this be a learning moment moving forward. She needs to earn those gestures. We don't need to give them anything up front. It's trust fund baddies only, pour no more.
Why protect if the women don't even have your back? The women don't even have your back. And I've heard this from guys where they would say they would protect a woman from her boyfriend that's beating her. Then the boyfriend would beat them up and then the woman would still go home with the boyfriend. They're like, nope. I am not dealing with this. Max Count says, and people wonder why nobody wants to help anymore. Yeah. you would think you would at least get like honor. I don't want to hear from you women about not getting protection and that the men aren't traditional enough anymore. When this is our reward for traditionalism. This is our reward for traditionalism. When you punish traditionalism, don't be mad that men don't do it. And we've had the talk that the majority of women today do not deserve chivalry. A woman that is ungrateful for chivalry does not deserve it. And there used to be a time where men would actually get something in return for chivalry. They would get a pure wife. They would get a wife that was in shape, and they would get a wife that respects and honors them. And that was the cultural norm. But now the cultural norm is, you can't tell me anything. I'll do what I want, and nobody can tell me I'm wrong.
Many women want to be promiscuous. I actually think it's important for us women to know this, because there's men that will lie to you and men that will be honest with you. In their eyes, women are these angelic creatures that always want marriage, family, and relationships. But the experience of men that date women between 18 to 25, let's say, is that many women want to be promiscuous. If you go to a high-end salon...
Men stopped yearning. Men don't yearn anymore.
And what exactly are they supposed to be yearning for? Quite frankly, I can't see a lot of men yearning after most modern women, especially taking into consideration how a lot of them act.
That's what women want. All they want is to be yearned for.
Oh yes, that's all women want, is to be yearned for. But if we take a look at social media, a lot of women out there are going to want men to chase them to see who can line up to pay their bills so they won't actually have to do anything on their own.
Why do you think Mr. Darcy is such a sought-after gentleman, sir?
They mean the fictional gentleman that was written by a woman for women. Okay.
Why do you think women are reading these fantasy novels about men who are literally crawling out of their grave to get to her?
Do you think a lot of those women possess the same character traits as the heroines in those novels? Probably not. That's why it's called fiction. Fantasy.
Well, that's what women want. It's really not that hard, y'all.
Just a thought, and this might come across a bit harsh, but this goes for men as well as women. In order for someone to be desired, they first have to be desirable.
This young lady has a message to the men.
Okay, we need to normalize guys approaching girls at the gym because right now it's just awkward for everyone.
I've been seeing a lot of videos with women saying this, but I'm going to go ahead and translate what she's actually trying to say.
There will be a guy I see every day. We make eye contact. We do the little half smile thing, and then nothing ever happens.
So there's some guy in the gym. He's 6'8", built like LeBron James. They make eye contact and they smile at each other every day. And because of that, she feels special, not knowing he's making eye contact and smiling at a lot of girls in the gym because he's 6'8" and built like LeBron James.
This goes on for weeks. At that point, we're basically coworkers. I'm not asking to be hit on mid-squat or anything, but if you catch me between sets and just say hi, that's not weird. What's weird is pretending we don't recognize each other after making eye contact 40 times. Like, grow a pair and come talk to me.
So fellas, let me be clear on what she's saying. She wants that guy to come talk to her. Not you. Don't you go walking over there. You're going to end up on a TikTok video. When these women say this, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to all of us. So do not get tricked. Do not get fooled. Don't let her shame you into doing it, trying to make us feel like we're weak if we don't go over there and talk to her. She's not talking to us. She is talking to him. And most of these women making these videos, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to the rest of us. This is why you see some women online saying, don't talk to us, and other women saying, talk to us. Because the women who are saying don't talk to us, those are the regular men approaching. The women who are saying come talk to us, those are the good looking men that they want to approach. So don't get it twisted, fellas. I'm just trying to save you some time. That's all I'm doing.
To the women who liked to date men, and only women who like to date men only, this message is for you. If you are not a woman who enjoys or wants to date a man, then keep on scrolling. My rent is $6,000. My nails, $150. My hair, $300 minimum. All right. My facials, at least $200, $250. So I pay for all this myself. I do not expect a man to take care of this for me because he is my partner, not my father. All right. I think the men have left now. Ladies, when a man invites you over to his apartment or his house for the first time, please rob him. Please understand that this man wants you to rob him.
This is why I say women hate other women. And this is why you don't take advice from a lot of these women that you see online. Because what she's telling other women to do is to rob somebody so they can go to jail. God forbid. If he ever had camera of you stealing, you're fucked. I'm telling you, women hate women. They do. Because then you wouldn't give some dumb advice like that.
You know, I think Pearl was talking about men losing faith in chivalry. And it used to be a time where you got something for it. But now you don't get purity. You don't get anything close to purity. You get somebody that was just, you know, I don't even think we can call it exploring anymore. Because exploring, I feel like when you explore, there is some sort of like cautiousness. Like, I don't really know what's around that corner, so I'm going to be careful. I'm looking to see, and I'm going to have an experience, and the experience is going to be bad, and I'm going to stop doing it. So I'm going to step away, and then I'm going to go explore over here. And if there's something that's working, I'm going to keep on doing it. Okay, this works. That's exploring. What y'all are doing is going buck wild. Y'all are going beyond that. It's not even exploratory. You know what's going to happen. You're doing it anyway. You are doing it anyway. You know this is not a good path for you to go down, and you're doing it anyway. And that's what men are saying. And when you get done, when you get used up, and when and people and messed around and did all this other stuff with you, now you want me to treat you as if, well, you know, she's perfect. She's never done any of this stuff. Treat her like a pretty little princess that has to do nothing, that don't have to cook, don't have to clean. I have to do much more than any of these brothers had to do to get her. How is that fair? I don't get that.
We'll be at a function like this. I'm talking about overly loaded, and niggas still won't walk up and talk to nobody. Like, what the f*** you giving me a tripod, y'all? Like, what the f*** you came here for? Just not to talk to nobody?
Yo, I keep seeing this all over TikTok, social media. Women are asking, why don't men approach anymore? You want to know why? Because a lot of us got trained not to. Simple as that. I mean, yeah, back in the day, men would walk up, shoot their shot, take a risk. Cool. But now you approach the wrong one at the wrong time. Now all of a sudden you weird, you creepy, you doing too much. I'm not talking about dudes being disrespectful. Nah, I'm talking about just saying, hey, how you doing? Now it's, I got a boyfriend. Why are you talking to me? You get posted online like you did something wrong. So after a while, dudes start thinking, why even risk it? Why even put yourself out there to be embarrassed or be labeled as something that you're not? Now, don't get it twisted. There is some weird dudes out there. I get why some women got that guard up, but not every man approaching you is on that type of time. So now we in this weird space where women are like, they want to be approached, and men are like, nah, I'm good. And then everybody's wondering, why don't nobody talk to each other anymore? I'm just saying, it goes both ways.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift?
Because if a man persisted like that in today's dating world, he would at the very least be called a creep. And at the worst, he'd be going to jail. That is the reality that a lot of men face. So that, in combination with the fact that women are not really reciprocating effort and they're not treating men very well right now, there is is a large group of men that are saying that it's just not worth it. And they would say that women have asked for it. They have asked men to leave them alone. So guess what, ladies? They're leaving you alone.
All women say they want a good man until they actually meet one and realize they're not equipped to handle him. A good man is not convenient. He doesn't bend to accommodate chaos. He doesn't rearrange his values because you're emotional.
A real good man has discipline, boundaries, and priorities that don't shift based on your mood.
And this is where women get confused. When you've never met emotional maturity, you misread everything. You call him cold because he won't tolerate drama. You call him selfish because he protects his peace. You label him detached because he refuses to beg for your approval. But that's not coldness. That is self-respect. A man who knows his worth doesn't move from insecurity. He moves from conviction. Good men don't chase drama. They don't chase chaos. And they sure as don't chase women who weaponize emotion. They build, they lead, they create order. Most women aren't ready for the responsibility that comes with a stable man because stability doesn't feed your need for emotional roller coasters. It doesn't scratch that itch for unpredictable validation. For women raised in dysfunction, peace feels boring until you lose it. A good man requires partnership, respect, and a woman who's emotionally regulated, not reactive, not reckless. Stay solid. Good men don't bend. They build. And the right woman rises to meet him.
What are women lacking? Good attitude, Black women in particular. Let's talk about what's a good attitude. Let's be specific. Positive. Imagine that. Service-minded. Already those two disqualified a bunch of you. Helping and supportive. Confident. Confidence not loud. Fair and just. Oh my gosh. I feel tired even just saying this. Accountable. Kind. Why is it? It's sad that this is so funny. Kind. Responsible. You know what I'm describing, y'all? Pro-social. That's the opposite of antisocial. Antisocial doesn't mean you're introverted. Antisocial means that you do things that are destructive to society. Antisocial is also a personality disorder. Let me save that one. Your character, if your liabilities outweigh your assets, you're a liability. Someone would have to be dumb to get on board with you. We see it in the fruit. You don't prioritize your own personal character development, but you do focus heavily on getting the promotion, on how much money you're making. You're becoming consumed with achievement, attaching achievement to your self-worth. Most men don't want a pushover of a woman. That's weird. That's uncomfortable. Like a man that has some character and values, that's a weird feeling to be able to just push women over physically, emotionally, mentally. Like she can't hold her own like mental ground. That's a weird dynamic to be in for someone who is not like who's like a normal person. That's a weird dynamic to be in. They're not looking for pushovers, doormats. There's a misrepresentation of being a type of woman that has a mentality that a man likes. Like they make it so extreme. You must not like yourself. Like, no, I actually love myself. And that's part of why he loves me. Dummy. Y'all are confused. So confused.
If you actually love her, if you actually want to see her again, if you actually want to retain the relationship, don't talk to her. Don't chase her. Let her chase you. Because let me tell you, every time you pursue her, that's you loving her and not her loving you. You're the one initiating. You're the one double texting. She needs to be doing all.
These are the men that date women, but they don't like women. Men used to yearn for women. Now they're so caught up in what it looks like to the bros. I can't let the fellas see me loving this woman. I can't let them see me chasing this woman that I want. Too many of them date and pursue women based on male validation. Every day they pop up online talking about, well, if the bros don't find her attractive, then I can't date her. Are you dating her or are the bros dating her? They're dating women based on groupthink. It's all a group project. She doesn't let you mistreat her. She doesn't like you or doesn't like you enough. They date with a chip on their shoulder. They want you to pay for every woman that ever wronged them, ever mistreated them, ever rejected them. Now you have to prove to him that you're worth him treating you well by letting him treat you badly? Can't get treated well because some little girl in 8th grade dumped them. He's 40 years old talking about a high school sweetheart. You don't have to act like you're not interested. You don't have to ignore her. You could leave her alone altogether. This is the advice that keeps them single. Don't act interested. Don't act like you care. Don't pursue her. Make her come to you. Make these women crawl. Would ask how that's working out for you. But I think the male loneliness epidemic and the decrease in marriage rates and birth rates is my answer.
Honestly, I would never date a man under 6 feet.
Good thing I'm taller than that.
And his income has to be high, too. I can't be with a man who lives an average life.
What does average mean to you?
At least 6 figures a year. Ambitious, successful, good lifestyle.
Anything else?
Well-dressed, confident, knows how to lead, knows how to spend money on a woman. Basically, a man with status.
That's quite a checklist.
Because I know my worth.
So what do you bring into a relationship?
Look at me.
I'm asking beyond appearances.
Appearance is enough. Men always want a beautiful woman beside them.
So besides beauty, what else?
I bring feminine energy. I inspire men to do better.
Do you own a business?
I'm building my personal brand.
Stable income?
I don't need to work too hard when my man is capable enough.
Skills, experience, accomplishments?
Why are you talking like this is a job interview?
Because your standards sound more like hiring a CEO than finding a partner.
I just refuse to settle for less.
Yet you expect someone who meets every standard, while you've built almost nothing besides your appearance.
Are you insulting beautiful women now?
No. I'm asking what value remains when youth and attention disappear.
You know what? Successful men out there don't ask as many questions as you do.
Because many men pay for fantasies. I look at reality.
I still have plenty of options.
I don't doubt that. But attention doesn't equal long-term value.
So you think I'm not good enough for successful men?
I think your checklist is longer than the value you actually bring. And that's why you keep demanding more instead of building more.
These guys are running a game. Why are you dating women and you don't even like women? The same reason that these women are taking these men out for a foodie call. That's right. That's the thing. A lot of these modern women, and I know y'all don't like to admit it, are taking these men out for a foodie call. They're taking these men out for experience. They know that they don't like that man. They're doing the same thing. You mad at the man for pulling back and playing all of these tricks. Modern women are doing the exact same thing. They're doing the same thing. Oh, well, men shouldn't. Sure, they shouldn't. But why does it seem like you have men that majority of time, they got to take responsibility? It's got to be the man. It's got to be the man. If we ever going to get back to where we were as a nation, it's got to be the men that rise up and make a change. And the men make a change. Well, and when they make a change, we'll follow. How about you on your own? And this is what men are saying. How about you on your own? You just be a good person. How about you do that? And then that's going to coincide with, I think it was, well, the clip about talking about men are not approached. Oh man, we come to an event and we're mixing around and we're mixing and mingling. There's no reason it should be this many men here and none of them are coming up to talk to us. Because you're not a good person. That's why I keep on trying to tell you. Y'all out here acting a certain way. Y'all want men to go ahead and do the right thing. They're intertwined. You got to be doing the right thing too. And you're not. Well, I ain't going to do the right thing until he does the right thing. Then he's not for you. Leave him alone. But you want the good man to come and get you. And you not doing the right thing. The good man see that you looking at him. And he said, oh, she focused on something that she not be focused. So if I get with her, she not going to be ready to go. I'm going to pass. And it's going to keep on, y'all going to keep on running in the cycle. That good man going to go ahead and get married. And you still out here messing with Chad and Tyrone.
These aren't rules for women. They're standards for my time. You're free to do whatever you want. These are mine. If I plan a date and something comes up, that's fine. No problem. But it's on you to offer the next availability. I lead. I don't chase. Early dating is not sponsorship. If you're asking me to fund basics that you should already be doing, we're not aligned. I'm not looking for a woman to pay, but I am looking to see if you want to contribute. Your effort matters and will be noticed. And I'm not even going to let you pay. but I want to see you offer. At some point, I want to hear you say the words thank you to either me or the waitstaff. Just once, at least once. Gratitude costs nothing, and it shows everything. If I offer to pick you up or to send a car, I expect you to be ready on time. Respect for time is respect for the person. I live an active life. If movement or working out together feels like a chore, we are not compatible. I don't need constant texting, but I do need mutual effort. There's a difference between being busy and being disengaged. Basic hygiene is not negotiable. It's not about perfection. It's about self-respect. I'm drawn to feminine, warm, nurturing energy. That's not something I teach. It's something I notice. And this one matters. I don't date women who don't take accountability. If everything is always everyone else's fault, there will be no future. Growth requires responsibility on both sides. These aren't demands, they're filters. And the right woman doesn't argue with standards. She fits them.
I'm not wrong for thinking this chick is crazy being married, right?
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
I'm Jazz.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Dior.
you.
Where you from?
I'm from Texas.
Texas?
Yeah.
What part? Houston?
Hell no.
Hell no. You said hell no. You don't like Houston?
I'm just not from Houston.
Nah, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You live out here?
Huh?
You live out here?
No, with my sister.
You have Instagram I can get?
I can't. My
Why?
husband will whoop my ass. I'm married.
You got a husband?
I'm married.
Where your ring at?
Huh?
Where your ring
I
at?
took it off. I don't need to wear it.
You took it off.
I took it off.
Why you took your ring
I'm
off?
on vacation. Why do I need to wear a ring on vacation?
Yo, there's no way you gonna tell me this is a good wife right here. Not only is she entertaining dude, but she shook his hand, giving him the time of day. Like for me, real wives don't play that, bro. They like leave people on red in person. They straight up ignore them. And if it gets to that point, yo, leave me alone before I scream or I'm married. Leave me alone. Like they just walk away from the situation. They don't entertain at all. This chick telling him where she lives, all this. She entertaining them. And then he asked for her IG and she's like, nah, my husband will whoop my. I mean, if your husband FaceTimes you and find out you're not wearing your ring, he's not gonna whoop your. Cause that's the next thing. He was like, yo, you not wearing no ring? She's like, nah, man, I'm on vacation. I took it off. Like, I'm not gonna wear my ring on vacation. Like, you're not gonna represent that you married on vacation? Like, nah, when I'm on vacation, I'm not married no more. Like, this is the type of chick this is. Like, maybe he wasn't that dude, but guaranteed if the right dude came along, her type of dude that looked the way she wanted him to look and be how she wanted him to be, oh yeah, she not married. Nah, we good. I'm on vacation. I could do what I want. Then I go back home to my husband. These are the chicks you gotta watch out for. I can't believe she's even married. Her husband must not be that kind of dude with good discernment. Hell no. Like he said, oh, you look good. That's it. Good time, not a long time. You do not marry good time, but not a long time. This is just a fact. You leave them chicks in the streets, bro.
Okay, so there are a decent number of profiles like this. Okay, 31, female, based in the US, event coordinator, average looking in my opinion, and wearing heavy makeup with false lashes in all of her photos, including the casual ones. Here are some excerpts of her profile. I would like someone who is physically my type, attractive, fit, full head of hair, 5'11" or above, at least an 8 or 9 out of 10. Looks matter to me. He must be educated and have a stable job well into 6 figures. Someone who is emotionally intelligent and a high-value man who understands the worth of a woman in a relationship. I won't tolerate anyone who does not know how to treat someone like a lady. I have high standards and I'm not interested in anyone who is trying to lower my standards. Now, this person is rejected because I don't think that the person that she wants will want her back. I mean, I've already seen profiles like this, and she doesn't meet their requirements. But what's very interesting to me is this discourse about trying to lower my standards. I've actually seen that sentiment a bunch of times in my comment section, and I don't actually know what that means. I think it's a very weird thing to say. Like, what do you mean other people are trying to lower your standards? Nobody cares what your standards are, and nobody cares even more to try and lower them. This is a free market, so you can have all of the standards that you want. You can ask for a billionaire if you want, but people also have to choose you. Now, as a matchmaker, I can factually tell you that based on what you're looking for, those people who do meet your requirements, whether or not they would want you back or not. So at some point, especially for someone in my position, it's simply about reality. And what I would say to this person is, hold on to your standards. Hold on to them tight and find yourself someone.
I'm not ready for a relationship. What do you mean? We met on a dating app. I mean, like, what exactly were you ready for? a group project, a pen pal, because I remember the app having a trauma recovery networking section. Okay, you can't swipe right, match, flirt for 3 weeks, and then suddenly hit me with, I'm just not in the right place mentally. Oh, really? Because your bio said looking for something real. Okay, not looking to waste time until I heal from Chad. All right, so don't get me wrong, I respect honesty, but maybe say that before we start trauma bonding over childhood pets and favorite pizza toppings. Not after I already introduced you to my emotional stability, okay? And then they always act like it's deep, like, yeah, I just need to focus on me right now. Okay, cool, but could you have focused on you without using me as your practice boyfriend? All right, so yeah, I'm not ready for a relationship, but you were ready to text 24/7, share playlists, and tell me about your attachment style. Interesting. Okay, so stop saying you're not ready. Just say you got bored. It's fine. And it's cheaper than therapy.
Boys choose easier relationships. Men choose relationships that require growth. That difference shows up the moment effort is needed. When plans need to be followed through, when words need to turn into actions, when consistency is expected without reminders. Growth does not demand perfection, it demands responsibility. A woman with standards does not chase clarity. She does not beg for consistency. She does not lower herself to keep him comfortable. She expects maturity, and that expectation filters boys out immediately. Men who are ready to rise, boys look for what feels easier. Easy forgiveness, easy excuses, an easy life with no expectations. And when they cannot meet her, they give it a name. She is too much. Not because she is, but because meeting her would require more than they are willing to give. Here's the part women need to hear. When a man disappears, the moment you stop making it easy, he did not lose interest. He lost cover. And if your standards make him feel like a boy, it's because he never chose to become a man.
Most women aren't ready for the responsibility that comes with a stable man, because stability doesn't feed your need for emotional roller coasters. It doesn't scratch that itch for unpredictable validation. For women raised in dysfunction, peace feels boring until you lose it. A good man requires partnership, respect, and a woman who's emotionally regulated, not reactive, not reckless. Stay solid. Good men don't bend. They build. And the right woman rises to meet him.
Oh, I think this woman read my book. Wow. This is exactly why I tell men always stay in your frame. Because what she's saying is if you stay within your frame, you set your boundaries and you don't tolerate any from your woman, regardless how emotional she gets on her roller coaster, you just stay solid. It's my rules. This is what I'm sticking to. You either like it, stay, or if you don't like it, there's the door. Those are the only two choices you get. She knows that, hey, I have a good man. He's a solid man. I'm going to stop testing him. The more a man stays in his frame, that's what she's describing, frame. As long as he stays in his frame and she has to come in and live within his frame, she will stay. The man who keeps moving with her emotion shows the woman that this man is not stable. He's not strong enough to hold me within his frame. The second I push, the frame starts to wobble. It starts to break. And every time he gives me my way, he collapses. That is not a strong man. She don't respect that man. She cannot respect that man.
I really like what he's saying here. What these modern women mean is, I think a lot of these ladies know they're going to go off the deep end. And so they're saying, well, you know, I need a man. I need a foundation. That's why they're putting all the pressure on you I expect a man to plan a date. I plan it all from, top to bottom. And then I can come in and sprinkle, my little salt and pepper touch on top. I expect you to do that, right? I expect you to make those decisions because I have too much stuff going on in my head. I'm jumbled. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to turn to you and say, hey, does this dress make me look fat? Because there's so many factors. I just need a yes or no, right? What are we having for dinner tonight? Where are we going? Just tell me what to wear and I'll figure. I already got that part of it. They think that's, of value, but And I guess to a degree the effort is, but it doesn't equate to money. You know what I mean? Well, if I get dressed up and I do this, and this, that's valuable. It is, but it doesn't equate to you saying, okay, you owe me $200. That's where you have the problem, right? But that's why they want you. I need a man to be my rock. I need a man to be solid for me, because they already know. And most modern women know this. Their world is so chaotic. It's so spread out. Even the boss babes, their brain is scrambled a lot of times, right? Obviously, you go out here and you work and do this, and this, but the brain is scrambled. So I'm looking for somebody to be, kind of a focus and say, all right, you got it, you're good. Okay, go back out there and rock it. Go back out there and do it. But I think, and men don't have a problem with that, but I think it's the emotional and the mental roller coaster that men have to go through in order to be this for you. Just for you to come back and say, you were never enough for me. You didn't spend enough on me. That ring that you bought wasn't good enough.
Men, beware of your wife's single friends. Men, listen up. Your wife's single friends, they will sabotage your marriage if you let it. They sneak in, they whisper, and they poison. Before you know it, your marriage is breaking down. And you think I'm exaggerating and I'm doing this for likes? No, here are some facts. Studies show that divorce spreads like a virus through social networks. If a friend gets divorced, your odds of divorcing jump up to 75%. Let me repeat, your odds of divorcing jump 75% if her bestie gets divorced. Drill this into your brain. Single women are keeping women single. Peer influence is real. She will prioritize her bestie's feelings over yours, especially if her crew is full of divorcees. They're not healing. They're recruiting. Girl, you deserve better. Girl, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that to you. Oh my goodness, he is so controlling. Sound familiar? Friends' divorces make divorce seem normal and less stigmatized. Divorcees get together, pulling each other down. They don't care about your kids, your mortgage, or your future. They want her single, swiping, and miserable with them. Protect your marriage, my dudes. Vet those friends ASAP. If her friends is single and salty, red flags. Cut them off or watch your wife join the divorce club. Divorce is contagious, so protect what is yours.
The only way this relationship has any chance at surviving is if you start to be honest. You would have already left if you didn't have hope. So that tells me you want this to work somehow. The only way that can ever happen is through respectful, vulnerable honesty. And you telling them, this relationship doesn't work for me. Is that hard? Absolutely. Welcome to the fork in the road. We either move in a healthier direction together, or as difficult as it is, I move in a healthier direction by leaving. And there's still a lot of healing that needs to take place, but you have to come to the place where you're okay if this relationship ends. And even more, this relationship has to end. We can either build another relationship together as a team, or I have to leave. But either way, this relationship is dead. This relationship, with all its toxicity, is gone. I will no longer tolerate either of us showing up in destructive ways that hurt each other. I will no longer shove my feelings down because I know now that they only come back out in other destructive ways. I will no longer make excuses for either of us. We're both either going to do better or I'm going to do better on my own. I will not have a relationship where someone constantly criticizes me or makes fun of me or invalidates or dismisses my feelings or just plain ignores how I feel loved. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to start being respectfully vulnerable and honest about my feelings and needs. And I'm going to put distance between people in my life who punish me for doing that.
Me acting like I want a relationship, but in reality, I'm enjoying being single. I'll say things like, oh, it would be nice to have someone, and then immediately enjoy my peace and forget all about that. I like the idea of a relationship and the highlights, the good parts, the Instagram version, but then someone texts too much and I remember who I am. Being single is quiet, no explanations, no compromises, no what's wrong when nothing's wrong. I don't miss dating. I miss potential. I like knowing I could fall in love without actually doing it, So yeah, I talk about wanting a relationship like it's a future project, not urgent. There's no deadline, just a vague general dream. You know, if I'm single, relaxed, and unbothered, it's not loneliness. Okay, I'm not avoiding love. I'm just very comfortable being alone after years of practice.
Dating nowadays is so weird. Everybody's dating for help, dating to finesse somebody. Don't nobody actually like them for them. They just see an opportunity. They either see money or they just see the aspect of them. They don't actually see a future with them. Everybody's just living in the moment with their partner. That's what it seemed like. That's why I'm still single and I'm not rushing into no relationship. You got to actually fill out what people trying to do nowadays. It don't seem like any relationships are genuine. They're just there to use a motherfucker for whatever they there for. And once that's done and used up, they on to the next thing. Is there anybody out there that's genuinely looking for someone that sees potential and sees at least 20 years down the road with this person? Or is everybody just dating for right now?
Discussing the mental load and men asking to make a list because I'm not a mind reader.
I cannot stand when husbands tell their wives, just make me a list of all the things you want me to do. I'm not a mind reader. I always tell people, if you have me make a list, then I have to do more of the mental load. I now have to look at everything that needs to get done. Why doesn't your spouse, husband, boyfriend, whoever it is, see the exact same things that you see? Do they see that the toilet needs to be cleaned? Do they see that dinner needs to be made? Do they see that the house has to be cleaned? That laundry has to be done? That the kids have a birthday party coming up? That they need a gift? You should be able to see the exact same thing that your wife sees and do that, and your marriage should be going a hell of a lot better than what it already is, probably.
Yeah, totally disagree. It's not the first time I've disagreed with Kristen. But I get it. I get her perspective. I totally disagree. I'll tell you why. One, we can't hear what you don't say. It's totally unfair to hold people to that standard. Two, I'm sorry, are we supposed to be in a relationship with ourselves? Is that what you're basically saying? Like we're all going to do the same. Like we're all going to be in charge of the kids' Christmas gifts for their friends. We're all going to be in charge of the toilet. We're all going to be, wait, I'm sorry. I thought we were in a relationship where we were going to say, hey, this is mine. This is yours. These are the things we're each doing, right? Like these are our responsibilities. Look, at both people are the breadwinner. And both people are also the primary caregiver of the children. Okay, by the way, you then can't argue that we shouldn't have 50-50 custody, by the way. But arguably, if that's the pure relationship you have, where everyone, we like to cook the same, we're both equally good at cooking, neither of us is particularly likes or dislikes cooking, and we both should cook equally. Like, I get it, but that's usually not how actual people live.
You know what I just realized about relationships? A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85. And then
So as a man who's done this in countless relationships, pretty much every relationship I've been in, my perception, this is just my observation, my own personal experience. The reason why the effort will go from 100 and just start going down is in the beginning, giving 100 was appreciated. It was reciprocated. It was enjoyed. It was exciting. It had all that good stuff, right? Then something happens and all that excitement about everything that you once, everything you did that once brought excitement, energy, reciprocation, respect, all of a sudden, all that stuff's not getting that anymore. You can come up with 1,000 different reasons as to why. It doesn't matter. So then that's when the effort starts to decrease. It is what it is. And once you start realizing you're not getting the respect, you're not getting the same vibes, the same energy, you're not, getting the appreciation, and for everything you do, you just start doing less and less. And before y'all say, well, you should communicate it, let me explain something to you. You can communicate a lot of things in a lot of ways to try to get people to understand, and they won't. Not that they can't. I don't believe people can't communicate. People refuse to communicate because they have no problem communicating it to their friends and their family. They just won't communicate it to their partner. So this is just my perception, just my observation from my own personal experience. Take that as you will. Food for thought. Maybe possibly people should, I don't know, appreciate things more. Just saying. There we go.
So let's nip this man versus bear conversation in the bud right the now. The question is, would you rather be in the forest alone with a man or a bear? Not a rapist or a bear. What percentage of men do y'all think are rapists? That's what's really getting to me, because y'all make it seem like it's a 50-50% chance. Like, oh, he might me, he might not. Have you lost your mind? And before y'all answer that in the comments, because it is a question and I do want an answer, what percentage of men do y'all think are? And when you answer, I want you to put it in the form of a sentence of the men that are in your life. So that way we can bring this back to reality. So I want you to say, of my 3 brothers, 2 of them are. Of my 6 male cousins, 3 of them are. Of my 5 male friends, 2 of them are. I want you to give me those numbers.
It's ridiculous. I can proudly say out of all my 5 brothers, none of them are rapists. That's why I would never choose the bear. I'm not stupid. The bear will not ever protect me in any form of way. All I am to the bear is food. So why would I choose to be in a forest or be alone with a bear? I'm not stupid.
You know, most of these modern women, to the point of what Lauren was saying, I mean, men know that. Men know, and men are actually the ones that try to tell their lady, hey, this friend does this friend does that, and they try to tell them who to watch out for. But of course, that's controlling, and you know, that's a part of the patriarchy, and I'm sure it's misogyny somewhere in there. I'm not sure which, but that's usually what men run into, is that. So, you know, men know that, but like you were saying, modern women tend to prioritize each other's feelings, and really, honestly and truly, they're prioritizing their feelings over the relationship. Modern women, their friends know how to get to them, right? Let's say you just met your girl and she's been with her friends since high school. They already got the jump on you because they know exactly what buttons to push to make your girl listen in a lot of these situations. And if your lady isn't disciplined enough to say, I want to go check that out, or I need to see, they'll cry, they'll snot, they'll lie, whatever they need to do in order to get her away from you, they'll do it. And then in some of these instances, they'll go right around your girl and come back and try to hook up with you. Modern women logic, man.